Welcome to She Said That Out Loud, a place where we have inspiring, simple dialogue of our thoughts and ideas about concerns we face today. Thank you for joining me on She Said That Out Loud. My name is Amina, and today I want to talk about Tyler Perry's movie, A Fall from Grace. This movie was very interesting. I actually liked the movie. I went on YouTube and I saw some reviews, and some people say they didn't like it. They didn't like the wigs. They didn't like some of the scenes, the production. I personally liked it. And for those people who keep saying that they don't like it and they don't like the production, all that does is drive views to Tyler Perry's show. So in the end, he's going to win. So, and it forces people to want to go watch it. So, in my opinion, I thought the movie was very good. I'm sure there's a lot of people who could relate. And just to let you know, there may be some spoiler alerts, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who could relate to the main character, Grace. She was an older lady who had not been in a relationship for many years, and she decided she didn't want to be alone. And so she had been alone long enough. She wanted a relationship, so she ended up entering into a relationship with the younger man. Well, the younger man, he started off nice. He did everything right. It was like he was a knight in shining armor. And then all of a sudden he took off the mask and displayed this evil person, and she did not know who he was. Now, one thing that I thought Tyler Perry should have done was give us some red flags. I mean, there was no red flags that this man was a narcissist. And a narcissist is a real thing. And I know some people who's been in relationships like that, where they've got sucked in and they were used and abused, and to the point where they realized, like, who is this person and how did I get here? And it takes a lot for someone to get out of that type of relationship because they're manipulated. And I know a lot of people were complaining, saying that Tyler Perry made another stereotypical black person movie. This movie could apply to anybody of all races, because anybody could end up with a narcissistic person and don't know how to get out of a situation. So there was few scenes that were unrealistic, like when she left out her laptop, her work laptop, and it was logged in and it had the customer's information on there. So he was able to steal her identity or steal customers' identities and get her passwords and things like that. I mean, that's not realistic. Another thing that I didn't think was realistic is when the husband had another woman in their bed having sex with the lady as she sat in the living room, and he walks downstairs with the woman kissing her, and she says something like, "Oh, I hope your mom don't walk in on us next time." And they're giggling and laughing, and she's sitting in the next room, and she's like, "I want my money," after the lady leaves, and he was like, you should have joined us. I mean, just very realistic like that. No, that that is not realistic, because anybody in their right mind would have probably picked up anything that they can find. It would have been fighting going on in there if something like that happened in real life. Nobody's gonna sit there and just allow somebody to have sex in their bedroom. No, that's not gonna happen. Um, but this movie really displayed characteristics of a narcissistic type person. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist or anything, but anybody can go online or go to the library or go to YouTube, listen to some doctors, some therapists talk about narcissism. Narcissism is a very distinct personality disorder. And this disorder, they usually exhibit patterns. And in a narcissistic relationship, according to one of the doctors that I was listening to, and I cannot think of her name right now, but she says a narcissistic relationship is like looking into a mirror and nothing is looking back at you. She's the author of Should I Stay or Should I Go? Narcissistic people normally lack empathy. So if you notice in that movie, when he was exposed and she told him, I know it was you who stole my money. You got me fired on my job. I want my money back. He was so careless. He did not care about anything that she was saying. She was like, I want you out of my house. He laying up there drinking a beer, talking about, I ain't going nowhere. My name is on this mortgage. And if you don't know the laws of this state, you need to look it up because this is 50-50. I mean, he was just so careless and reckless in his behavior. And that's how most narcissistic people are. And this goes for men and women. This is not, I mean, I know the movie was a man, but women can be narcissistic too. I mean, you got narcissistic mothers, you have, you may work for a narcissistic employer or supervisor, your child could be narcissistic. But one thing that the doctor did indicate that narcissism is actually created by the parents. This is not anything that's inherited. It is a byproduct of parenting. So, which was a shock to me when I was reading on that. So some of the characteristics are, going back to what I was saying before, they lack empathy. They feel entitled. They expect special treatment to be given to them, and they don't give it in return. They only want to affiliate with people that are cool. They are only concerned about their appearance. They live in like a facade, and they don't know how to regulate their emotions. It's like they're always throwing temper tantrums, and they get angry easily when things don't go their way. And they like giving criticism, but they don't like receiving criticism, and they gaslight you. And so it's like they deny that you're, it's somebody that denies your reality. So what that means is, like, if you say, well, yesterday you told me ABC, they'll be like, no, I didn't. And then they start making you feel like you're crazy. So those are some of the characteristics. Now, some people may display these characteristics, one or two of the, and there's a whole list of characteristics. These are just a few. It doesn't mean that they're a narcissist, because anybody could have any one of these traits. It doesn't mean that you're a narcissist. But if you just display a lot of these traits, you just might be. So narcissists like to play by themselves. Like they don't interact. They don't know how to communicate. And people, when you're in a relationship, and like in this movie, she just wanted to feel good, and he made her feel good in the beginning. He really made her feel good. He made her feel young. But as soon as he got her trapped, um, it all went downhill. And if you notice in the movie, because remember I said narcissism is a byproduct of parenting. So if you notice in the movie, his mom was spearheading all this. So he was doing everything the mom told him to do. So ultimately, the mom was the narcissist, which created a narcissist child. I mean, it gets deep if you really want to look into it. I personally like the movie. I say learn to understand what narcissism is, and do your own research, and use discernment when you're dating people. Don't just jump into a relationship like she did, which people do. I mean, I get it, but she jumped in the relationship because he tricked her. But sometimes you got to be with someone a little while longer and watch what's going on before you make that leap, because she married him, and once she married him, it was like you kind of, your only option is divorce at that point. But still, he could still take he or she could take what they want out of the relationship, and there's nothing that you can do about that. So I mean, in situations like that, when you're dealing with someone like that, the best thing to do is probably not look for revenge, just look for help. Go get some help, and get out of that relationship. I mean, just it doesn't make any sense to stick around. Just get out of the relationship. That's my best advice. So check out Tyler Perry's movie, and subscribe to my channel. Comment. There was a lot of things that was going on in that movie. Some parts of that movie I kind of like got thrown off because I don't know if I got up and left or was starting looking at my phone or text, but there was some missing pieces that happened in that movie. And comment and let me know what you think about the movie. Let me know what I missed. And specifically, there was a scene where, remember, she had took the bat and she was beating him, and I thought he was dead. And then she already knew he wasn't dead, though. That's the part that didn't make any sense. She knew he wasn't dead, but she was willing to go to prison even though she knew he wasn't dead. She beat him over the head with the bat, pulled him off the couch, and after that, didn't see him anymore. So I assumed he was dead. Come to find out, he was with his mama the whole time, and we never saw him anymore until like he started grabbing people. So comment, let me know what I missed. I don't know where I fell off, somewhere in some of those scenes. I think I probably need to watch the movie again. But until next time, like I said, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. And as always, be fearless.